Today is Thursday, the 11th of June, and this is your third lesson for the Balanced Argument Unit. This lesson should hopefully take about 45 minutes today. So, what are we doing? We are learning what a balanced argument is, and we are writing our own concluding paragraph today. And why? In order to learn this new text type thoroughly, and also to learn how to write a concluding paragraph that wraps up what we've been saying in the prior paragraphs. And how we're going to use this, or how we're going to do this today, is we're going to use some examples. We're going to look at them. We're going to have a modeled writing where you look at my concluding paragraph that I have written. We're going to look at the success criteria on how you can choose if you want to do bronze, silver, or gold, and how to include everything for that choice. And we're going to be using a checklist just like the other 2 days. So you should be very familiar with those things this week. So going back to our topic is virtual schools. And our topic question is, should BISH become a virtual school? Okay, so I want to talk a bit about technical vocabulary. So I know this was a question of some kids, like, what is technical vocabulary? And I think I mentioned it in the other lessons, but I forgot to ever talk about it. So our technical vocabulary for this balanced argument are going to be any words that are specific to our topic of virtual school. Okay, so for example, some technical vocabulary would be virtual school. It could be iPads. It could be technology. Since we're talking about school, some of the technical words could have to do with students, teachers, parents, that sort of thing. So we'll try to look at different technical vocabulary throughout this lesson. So what should we include in our concluding paragraph or our conclusion? Biggest thing you need to include is your opinion, and your opinion will be written in the first person. So you are going to say, I think, I feel, and this is my idea, okay? You're going to continue to put in some causal conjunctions, which are phrases in a sentence that connect your thoughts, and they show a cause and effect relationship. So again here, I've got it linked to this really helpful word map where we've seen some of these words before, and hopefully you've been using them in your balanced argument. What else should we include? We should include adverbials, okay? And these are phrases to modify, which means give more details, and create unity, which means bring your writing together, okay? And some of those adverbials, we've got this huge word map. But I really like this word map because it breaks it down into different categories like time and place and number and frequency. But it also gives a lot of different adverbials that would work at the beginning of the sentence or in the middle of the sentence and for lots of different things. So I really find this one useful. I hope you guys do too. And then what else should we include? Rhetorical question about one of your arguments. I don't think that's supposed to be in there. I think that was supposed to be edited out. So just a rhetorical question. Ignore this. Okay, just a, let's do, I'm going to just cross that out. Take that out. It doesn't have to be on one of your arguments. It could just be a rhetorical question about the topic as well. So just rhetorical question, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, now I want the pen off and it doesn't want to go off. It wants to stay on. Technology! It's still on there, guys. Should I do that? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Thanks for hanging with me. So here's a conclusion, and we're going to pick out some of the good things about this conclusion. So let me read it first. Having considered both sides of the argument, there are several reasons as to why children should and should not be allowed to eat chocolate for breakfast. Having said this, the potential negative impact on children's health, teeth, and education could be seen to significantly outweigh the benefits of simply having something tasty to start the day. So, should children be allowed to eat chocolate for breakfast? It would seem wise to answer the question with no. Children should not be allowed to eat chocolate for breakfast. So that's one way that you can conclude your balanced argument. And let's go ahead and we're going to look at some things here, okay? So here we've got an adverbial, okay? We've got a rhetorical question here. Should children be allowed to eat chocolate for breakfast? Okay. They've got their opinion and they said, no, children should not be allowed to eat chocolate for breakfast. However, did they use the first person? Sure didn't. They're missing that. Okay. What else? So is a causal conjunction. Having said this, an adverbial. Okay, so they've got a lot of really good things, don't they? Okay, let's keep looking. So here's another one. In conclusion, I feel that dogs should be kept on a lead when in public parks, especially at peak times, as this is much safer for both humans and dogs. Ideally, there should be areas created especially for dogs within all parks. Okay, so let's find the good things that they did in here. So I'm going to go back. I've got my highlighter. So in conclusion, that is an adverbial. Okay, that is their first person. Feel that dogs should be kept on a lead when in public parks. That is their opinion. Okay? As, that's a causal conjunction. Okay? They're saying that it's much safer. So they're adding more details to their opinion. Ideally, that's an adverbial. Okay? So that one is pretty good as well. It's got conjunctions, it's got adverbials, it's got first person, it's got the opinion. The one thing that this one is missing is it doesn't have a rhetorical question. Okay, so almost a combination of these two would make them more powerful, more strong together. On their own, they're pretty good, but I would say they're missing some things in terms of what we would like to see you add to yours. So here we've got our useful words and phrases, which are conjunctions and adverbials. And remember, this sheet is highlighting that you can use them at the beginning of the sentence because they all start with an uppercase letter. Now, if these are at the beginning of the sentence, that means you must have a comma after them, right? So when we start our sentence with a conjunction or an adverbial, you need to have a comma after it. Here are our causal conjunctions again and our adverbials, and all of these sheets will be in the add response, so you can look at them while you're doing your writing today. All right, here's mine, and I'm gonna say that mine is pretty good, right? Okay, I might be biased. So let's see what I have written for our conclusion, and let's see if I have all 5 of these things down here at the bottom. So in conclusion, there are many arguments for both sides of virtual schooling. Firstly, if many students are finding success in virtual school and are more engaged in the lesson, why shouldn't BISH go virtual? However, many students are missing out on social interactions with their peers and teachers. I believe that BISH should not become a virtual school due to the fact that students need social interaction and learn better in a face-to-face school setting. Ideally, BISH could offer some exclusive classes virtually, therefore creating a compromise between those who want virtual school and those who do not. All right, let's see what we can find. Okay, I'm gonna get my little highlighters out. I think I can change the colors on here. Let's see. Where did my thing go? Well, I'm gonna go out because it's a bit easier that way. Discard. Okay, yeah, I like it better this way, and you guys can still see it pretty good. So I'm gonna go to my draw tools here because now I've got all my highlighters. So we're first gonna look for our adverbials, okay? So those are the ones that give us a little bit more information, give us a few more details, wrap everything together nicely, but they're not showing cause and effect. So in conclusion, now, I think I stole that from one of the other examples, and feel free to steal that to start yours, okay? That's a good way to start your concluding paragraph, okay? Other adverbials we have is ideally. I definitely stole that from one of the other paragraphs. And notice I didn't steal whole sentences, right? If I am taking someone's whole sentence or whole idea, that's called plagiarism, and that is not allowed, not good, okay? So make sure you're just taking a word or two, okay? Not their entire idea. What else do I have? Do I have any other adverbials? I do, I see it right here. Firstly, okay? And I use firstly because I'm going to give 2 points or more, right? If I'm just making 1 point, then I don't want to say firstly because that's all that there is, right? But I first say sort of the for argument, if many students are finding success, and then I turn it around and I say the against argument, that they're missing out on social interactions with their peers and teachers. What you want to do with that for and against is you want to make sure it matches the for and against that you chose to write about. Okay, so if you did not write about students being successful in virtual school, don't put it in your conclusion. That doesn't make sense, okay? If you did write about, students having a flexible schedule, put that in here, okay? If you didn't write about missing out on social interactions, don't put that in the conclusion. It doesn't make sense. It's not a time for new ideas. It's a time for recapping what you've already said, okay? So nothing like a new idea down here or a new argument. You can restate the arguments you already said in your paragraphs. What color next? Yellow. So now we're going to look for the first person. Now I've only got one word that shows first person, but that is all I need. And there it is. I. Okay? I've said it once. I've said it to state my opinion. That's all I need to do to have it. So you only have to say I one time. You don't have to go crazy and say I this, I that, I. Okay? If you've got it in there once with your opinion, you've done it. Okay, now we're going to find our opinion. It should follow right behind the I. That would make sense. So believe that Bish should not become a virtual school. Okay? And then I'm going to stop the highlight there because I am giving more details behind that. So my actual opinion is that it shouldn't become a virtual school. And that's it. That's all I have to say. Okay, so if you want to put a full stop there, you can. Okay, I believe Bish should not become a virtual school, or I believe Bish should become a virtual school. So every one of you can take that sentence. Okay, steal it now. Conjunctions. Let's find some conjunctions. We're specifically looking for causal conjunctions, okay? So and is a conjunction, and though it's not a causal conjunction. So let's leave it out for today. So however is a causal conjunction, okay? Due to the fact that this is one that my class loves to use, okay? Causal conjunction. I think there were some other ones. Let me read it. I think that's it, actually. I thought I did more than that, but I've got 2 causal conjunctions. You really only have to do one. So if you can get one in there, you've nailed it, okay? And last but not least, our rhetorical question. Look here. Why shouldn't Bish go virtual? So for my rhetorical question on this, I didn't pick a side. Right? I sort of restated our topic question, which is, should Bish go to a virtual school? And I sort of said, why shouldn't it? You could say, why should it? But if you say, why should it, it should follow your against statement. I here have it attached to my for statement, saying that students are finding success, so why shouldn't Bish go virtual, right? If you want to have it after your negative sentence, many students are missing out on social interactions with their peers and teachers, you'd say, why should Bish go virtual? Okay? And though, think of your own original rhetorical question to add in. All right, so you see a lot of my paragraph is not actually highlighted, right? So that is the extra details that I've added in to make it full and complete, okay? So really, the main things that I need are what are highlighted. That's the basis of what I need. But in order for my paragraph to make sense, I need to add those other words and sentences in. All right, let's keep looking. So your task now is you are going to write your concluding paragraph, wrapping up your whole argument, okay? So our concluding paragraph is like putting a bow on a Christmas or birthday package, right? It's not complete until it has that final touch. You might have wrapped it, you might have put it in a box, and that's fine and all, but you got to put that bow on top and make it all come together. So now we're going to look at the success criteria. So for bronze, you're going to do one sentence. Your one sentence is going to start with an adverbial like in conclusion. You're going to have first person. So after your adverbial in conclusion, write I. After you write I, you're going to say your opinion. I think Bish should become a virtual school, or I think Bish should not become a virtual school. And then you're pretty much done, okay? Because you've restated the topic question. So I want to make sure you all re-say that question that we started with, which is, should Bish become a virtual school? If you're going for silver, all my silver dollars out there, okay, you're going to do 2 to 3 sentences to complete your paragraph. You're going to have all the things of bronze. So adverbial to start, first person, followed by your opinion. Restate the topic question somewhere in there, and add some conjunctions in, okay? And then last but not least, if you are going for gold, you are going to have 3 to 5 sentences in your paragraph. You're going to have all the things of bronze, all the things of silver, and then you're going to add in a rhetorical question, okay? Let's look back at mine. I have all 5 things. So that means I was going for gold. Now I need to count my sentences to make sure I made it to the 3 to 5 sentences. So I've got 1, I'm looking for the full stops or question marks. 2, I'm not counting the lines, I'm counting when I get to the full stops. 3, 4, and 5. So I've made it to gold. Good job. Good job, Miss Altier. So this is how you will decide which color you're going for and how you will decide if you have been successful. So let's look at your checklist. So your checklist, everyone needs to have the bronze. You must have the bronze in order to have a full conclusion. So you've got an adverbial to start. So you can say in conclusion. You've got your first person, the word I. You've got your opinion. You've restated the topic question, okay? If you're going for silver, do all of that, then add in some causal conjunctions. If you're going for gold, do all that and add in a rhetorical question. Okay, let's look on Seesaw at what this will look like. Seesaw. Okay, so here will be the video picture, so this will change, right? Because I haven't finished the video, I'm doing it right now. And then when you go to add response, here will be the sheets to help you. Okay, there's our causal conjunctions that can go in the beginning or in the middle of a sentence, all of our adverbials, which can go in the beginning or the middle. And here's our checklist that you must be completing to tell your teacher that you've looked over your work, you've ensured that you have everything you need, okay? If you finish your paragraph and find that you didn't do an adverbial, go back and add it in, Okay, it's so easy to make an edit and improve your writing, so take the opportunity. And then down here at the bottom, there'll be an add page, right? So you need to click add page, and then you can put your photograph of your written work on there because we want to see your written work. Please don't type it, okay? Handwritten, paper, pencil, paragraph form, okay? So I think you guys have got it. I think you're gonna be fantastic. I can't wait to read them, and hopefully maybe on our English Zoom on Friday, some of you will get to share your writing because I think some of these pieces are gonna be top notch, okay? Well, have fun and you're gonna do great. So, see you later.